Hello developers, today we are going to see this simple and beautiful animation view of travel application with onboarding and login screens. We can swipe this content and have a beautiful login screen and sign up functionality screen. Hope you love this UI. Let's start implementing this. Create an empty activity project in Android Studio. I have already imported the necessary PNG files. You can also import from here Figma and just click export. We can download a PNG format, right? I already downloaded it for the time sake. Now I just remove the default function and write my own composable function. Like this, I'm starting from this onboarding page. So we have 3 onboarding screens. It has some animated vibe. Okay, so let's write composable function onboarding. So let me give a function body. Let me give some review for side-by-side review of the implementation. It has, you can check one image, text field are there. So let me check. Up I am use column for vertical arrangement. It contains an image. Painter resource or drawable onboarding one. I'm saved this image as onboarding one. And second default parameter content description, I just give null. Okay. After that it has a text. Before I just make it a full max size of the width to take the entire screen and give the default padding like vertical 50 dp density pixels. Horizontal start and end the 20 dp. Okay. And I have some text fields under here. Modifier, font size, let me give 34 sp. Text must be in sp and other thing will be in dp, right? Okay. Finally dash semi-boot. We have setting of image size as 350 as width and 400 as height. Okay, now it's look good. I'm going to implement this button. For this I'm just going to use a box which contains this icon, arrow icon, right? Modifier dot some height like 45 dp and width of 80 dp. Fine. After that it has some clipping, right? 20 dp. You can check this on mock. And finally we give background color of color.black. Just import this with the alt enter or option enter and has an icon. Just import this icon. Icons dot, again we need to put this filled or default. I'm just using back. Let me check. Keyboard, right? Content description as null. Okay.
It's 2:30.
And we give something like tint to give the color as white. Content alignment to make this icon to center. Content alignment dot center, right? Just import this. And we need to give the size like 30 is fine. Okay. We need to alignment to bottom right. So I'm just using as a box wrapper, fill max size and content alignment dot bottom end. So just move to bottom end. Now it's look perfect. Similarly we are going to implement these to again another screens. For this I'm just going to use the list of items. Before that I just create a data class. It contains an image and text, right? Title as text and image as drawable int. Okay, just int also fine. Just remove this, int is fine. Here I am going to use a list of items for 3 screens. List of onboarding item of first screen contains this title. Discover the world. Now drawable onboarding one. again another two screens. Onboarding to the famous places like the text and the another text. Fine. Just to close the list. And we are going to loop this items within a function. So let me check as current pages 0 initially. Animated content for smoother animation of that movement. So first use target state current page modifier dot, yeah. Then transaction spec. This is for the moving animation. I'm just going to horizontal in and out. So it takes 80 minutes full width and fade in animation add-on. Along with, I'm just going to use horizontal slide in horizontal out to move or exit in another direction. So I'm just giving negative IT and fade out. Let me check. Let me import this. And what else? It need to be in same line and import this. Fine. Now it's look perfect. Yeah. Just replace this item of current page dot image. You can understand we are just taking this by current page index and title. Hope it looks better. Let's run the project. Before that, what else? Box need to be clickable, right? So last index is less than current page. Like that, have a check. We can also use size, but this is the optimal way of checking this last index. Hope it's perfect. We need to use transit content and run the project. Yeah, but you can see the text and images are overlapping, right? Because we are using within animated content, so we need to explicitly use the column. Okay, I'm just using column to wrap this image and text. Now it look better. What else? Yeah. Next. You can also check. We can add a line height because two things are touching each other. So I'm just adding a line height. Something like this, and we are going to focus on this progress bar. Further, we have two types of boxes. I'm just implementing with the height of 10 dp and with 28. Has some rounded corner shapes, right? So just using a clip. Need to add some background like that, and that color I copied. Fine. And similarly, we need to replicate for that black box. Just replace the color with that color dot black, and the width is small, right? So just replace the width. Something like this. Okay. Vertical, and I'll just give some spaces between the box, right? Like 5 dp. And all the items are in center vertically. So I in just a for loop. if it matches with the current page, we need to show that large icon, right? For this I'm going to use this. It has a visible key. When the current page index equal to I, we need to show that orange color box with some animated visibility so that it gives some smooth animation view, right? Else just show the box, not. Now we need to use the progress here. Current page. Hope it will look better. Let's run the project. Whoa, we missed something in for loop. And the size also mismatch. This is 30 something 15, and for loop it has only 0 to 2, so that it has 3 items. Now let again run the project, and the line height also we can check. Now it look better. And finally we are going to implement that login screen after this final click, right? For this I'm just create a composable login screen. So let me have that login screen contains image, text fields, right? Everything is stacked in a column. So I'm just going to use column with preview. We give something like full max size. Take the so that text full screen, and inner padding, vertical 50 dp, horizontal let me say 20 dp. Now started with the image on the drawable dot welcome. Let me give the same size as before, so 200 and 175 per the mark, right? We need to use this text. Modify, oops. I'm just going to distinguish these two fields. I'm just adding this paddings and arrangements, right? Cool. Some modifier padding the top, let me give 30 dp. Now it looks good. And again I'm just text is there. We also add the padding for that too. We have this text field, right? For this I'm just going to use text field of outline. No, I'm just using text field. Feature left needed, I'm using output text field. Both are fine only. Let me give a label As I enter the password. Enter your email. You can also check why we are using outline text field to get rid of these colors. Now it's looking good better. This has padding 30 dp. Trailer icon, which means at the end of the text box we need to have some icon, right? Either mail or that password icons, visibility icons, like that and all. I'm just going to ask, check with the boolean variable with visibility is enabled or not, like that. For this content description null. Now the background color goes waste because it comes out of the box. So we need to check for alternative. For this I'm going to use text field default or colors. So they pre-built lay will use all the text field colors, so we can just reuse it. I'm going to use container color for background, container color and unfocus container color, focus container color, directed. Further, there is a checkbox. I'll just give a default value of false and a text field, right? Remember me, and here there is a text field, forget password. Forgot password, just give a spacer here to move to left and right. Now we're just adding that forgot password color, right? It will be added like this. You can further change the font size also. And here I am going to add composition local provider to get rid of this checkbox spaces, like top and right there will be spaces for checkbox. To get rid of this we need to use this composition local provider, like that. Padding, let me give vertical as 18 14 dp is fine. Let me focus on this sign up screen, so you can check the single roller, it can contains 2 lines and text fields there, so it is easy as per such. And finally we are going to upgrade some libraries to take the most of the icons here. For this I am just going to use Android X Compose material, Compose icon extended. After importing on libs, we need to import build architect also. Now you can choose the visibility icon from the icons default or icon.field itself, right? I'm just going to use this and all here also. So let me check this visibility. Remember, password visibility is true. Then we are going to use this field icon. Else we are going to use that unfilled icon, right? For giving the focus indicator and unfocus indicator color, we can get rid of this background color of the text box, right? And further, we are just going to use these three icons of logos here. For this, I'm just going to add now for each logo I'm just using a loop, and here I'm just going to use IT, so which gives me corresponding logo on each time of the loop. So again we need to use content description as null and spaced by something, or even space even also fine. Also we are just adding some padding and all to look the UI better, right? So this will add the spacer on two sides, so it let's look like a line, and in centrally we can add our own text fields. Just make sure we are using that row to make central alignment vertically centered. And further, I'm just duplicating the entire login screen, Control D or Command D, with the sign up screen, right? It has another 2 fields extra. I'm just rename it to, just copy and duplicate it, just rename it to sign up screen, just replace it with get started, and these text must be replaced, and full name, first the field is full name, and so duplicate this entire full name, full name, and change the logo and icons hereafter. So further we are just implementing the sign up screen here. For adding navigation, I'm just going to use a controller of remember nav controller. To using this, you must need to import it on the Lipsnut version terminal, like Android X navigation compose with the version of this something like this 2.9.0. Once you sync the project, we can use this nav controller. And here I'm going to use nav host of something like nav controller, passing the parameter nav controller. I'll just pass this controller. Start destination something like onboarding. Once onboarding is done, we can add further. Okay. What else is missing? Modify or fill size. Okay. And here I'm going to use composable to give the unique name for each composable files for navigation. Onboarding screen like this, passing here. If the composable icon is called on sign in, login. Once I called it the login screen. Similarly for sign up screen. Fine. Now I'm just going to pass. Once onboarding is done, on final click, I just navigate to nav. Just pass the nav controller. Controller dot navigate to login. Once onboarding is done, I'm just passing to login. Option enter or alt enter, just add a parameter to its function. Okay, if a parameter is there, we can't preview the screen. Once done, when the user clicks something like login, if he clicks login, then I just need to navigate right. Clickable controller dot navigate to login, and if sign up in the sense, just need to navigate clickable sign up. Now let us run our project. Looks cool, right? And here interview password, this clickable box, and I click sign up. Sign up page, login screen. Yeah, that's it. Hope you love this tutorial. Keep subscribing and stay tuned for another good tutorial. Thank you.